If teachers will invest time in implementing an effective classroom management plan, then there will be high student engagement and high student success. I truly believe that. And I truly believe that from day one, if you come in with a plan and you follow through with the plan, and if there's consistency, then your kiddos will be successful, will have a successful year. Teachers who have smooth running classroom have an effective classroom management plan in place, and they teach their procedures that become routines for students to follow. I think about the routines that I automatically follow every day that I don't even realize that I follow them, but I know that if I follow them, then that keeps peace within myself. Also in my literature review, procedures organize the classroom. Within my classroom, I often have centers that we follow. I have daily routines that we follow each day because of our schedule. There are oftentimes procedures that have to be altered, but if they are altered, then you tell those kiddos what the altered procedures would need to be in an event that does happen. But students will perform better, I know, when they know my expectations. If they don't know my expectations, then they will not perform. So, for example, if a student comes into the classroom and they get up and get a drink of water, sharpen their pencil, or they just get up out of their seat while I'm teaching, if I didn't give them the expectation or the procedure that needs to be followed, then I'm setting them up for failure, and I'm setting everyone else up for a chaotic classroom. Because if the teacher's talking or if someone else is talking, what you do not want is everyone else doing what they like to do instead of what needs to be doing. Okay, classroom management is being proactive, and I learned that my very first year. It's productivity driven, it promotes responsibility, and it produces predictable behavior. I really liked how it said it's productivity driven, and the reason why I like that is because, as I said before at the beginning of my presentation, that time is one of the biggest enemies at school. We need more time. We need more time. If procedures and expectations are set in place, then that time will not be our biggest enemy. Consistency. Classroom management creates consistency. I truly believe that. Consistency in a classroom is created when there is repetition of actions and procedures. Consistency allows students to know beforehand what to expect and how to perform the classroom procedures. Every year, the kids come in, are we practicing procedures? And I have to say, yes, we are. They do not like procedures, but we know as adults that practicing procedures will lead to student success. It will have everyone on one accord, and then you will be in a less chaotic place. The teachers will need to invest time in preparing for a successful school year so that before the bell rings, students are following procedures. We have our assistant principal who's in charge of our PBIS. She develops a plan and a schedule for teachers at the beginning of the school year to follow, and I will talk about that within this 30 and 60 and 90-day plan once we get there. A teacher's readiness before the first day of school is an excellent predictor of how effective the rest of the school year will be. If we're not ready and if we don't have a plan in place, then we will have a chaotic, stressful year. So the key to a less chaotic and stressful year is to plan and be prepared and to have an effective classroom management plan. Good classroom management does just not happen. And it's sad to say that there are some teachers that do believe that. All kids are different. All adults are different. So therefore, we have to put something that is going to work for everyone so that we have success in the classroom. Teachers must plan good classroom management. Also in the literature review, in order to have a productive, effective classroom, teachers will need to develop a classroom management plan, and that's what I've done. We may also have to develop a classroom discipline plan if needed. Unfortunately, there are some students who will need additional attention, and that's understandable, but we'll put that plan in place for them and so that they are able to have a productive and successful class. Expectations for all students, and we will organize the classroom so that all students feel safe. That's one of the key things with classroom management. We want all of our kiddos to feel safe, okay? Students will accept your procedures. We just have to let them know what the procedure is. We just have to let them know. If we don't let them know, then they don't know what the procedure is. So we will talk about later on in the plan about some of the discipline plans that are in place for classroom management and so on. One of the key things that I want to talk about too is here at Bristow Elementary, our behavior plan that we have is, or one of the ones that we follow, is from PBIS, which is a positive behavior intervention support system. It's a great proactive approach to establishing the behavioral support and social culture that is needed for all students. Again, we know that all students are different. All students come from different backgrounds. The culture is different. So therefore, we have to come up with one common thing for each and every student to follow for the success of our students. And when they do that, then there will be academic success. These are my research questions. What is an effective classroom management plan? How can we help teachers implement a working classroom management plan? And how can we utilize data to track positive and negative behaviors for the overall improvement of classroom management? So these are some of the key things that I will be focusing on within this plan. Our data sources that I've pulled that some of our teachers here at Bristow Elementary have used is, one thing is Class Dojo. I teach 5th grade, and I didn't do Class Dojo this year. I think I did Class Dojo when I taught kindergarten. But it is an effective tool, and it's a great way to actually track student behavior, good behavior and unacceptable behavior. Or should I say, not necessarily good behavior, but what's accepted and what's not accepted. Many of the kids like the avatars, so they'll look at those avatars, and some of the kiddos, it depends on what your behavior is, if it's negative or if it's positive, and how many points you achieve. So it's a great tool for the kiddos to see, how am I doing? The next one, and this is what Bristow Elementary has gone to. We went to this last year school-wide. Some of our other teachers use this clip up, clip down system in the past, but now the whole school is actually using clip up, clip down. We also have a school-wide scoreboard that we've used. Our clip up, clip down chart is a discipline strategy for promoting positive behavior in the classroom and in our school common areas. And our school common areas would be the lunchroom, the library, in the hallways, and in the bathroom. So we all, unfortunately, we all have to be taught the acceptable behaviors because, as I said before, we all do not come from the same background. What's acceptable at home may not be acceptable at school, and that's something that we have to tell the kids when they first come, is what's accepted here at Bristow. And one of the things, again, that we use is clip up, clip down. This is the one that we use. And there are rewards if you clip up off the charts, and we will talk about that too once we get in the plan. So PBIS is a great positive behavior plan that our school is now using. This right here is our classroom behavior data board. As you can see, you put the names up, and the goal is, of course, you wanting to score a touchdown, but this is just one of the data sources that you could use to track throughout the day so that you know where your kiddos are within the day with the plan that you have in place for classroom management. So that's a great tool as well. If the kiddos aren't doing the acceptable behaviors, then that's a time for you to reteach or reinforce what needs to be taught. Also, what Bristow Elementary how we track unacceptable behaviors with is we use Swiss, and with Swiss, it just shows a bar diagram of what was unacceptable during the school year, what percent. It goes in depth where it will break up the female, males, your Caucasian, African Americans, whatever it may be. Swift right here breaks it up, gives you a little bit more data, and so that we can kind of try to get a better understanding of who it's coming from. Maybe if we can track when it's happening, when it's occurring, and then that way our data team, we have what